Today we're gonna have a look at SerenityOS's LibGUI and how that works. Yeah, so the interesting thing will be how do widgets work, which is the file I've opened here. So I've installed a C++ uh, extension for VS Code, but evidently it's not working that great. So yeah, we'll probably have to do a lot of searching. All right, so first thing I want to see here is what is a layout? And we're probably gonna have to search. Maybe it's a class. So I have to say I don't have a lot of knowledge about C++. I've written like minimal amounts for Arduino, but might as well be none. So, right. Interesting. You can add a widget to a layout. Oh, I think this might be like the layout managers in Swing, or that's like where this seems familiar from. I don't know how like other old frameworks deal with it. Like just from knowing how things are usually done in Serenity, I would assume that it's like a relatively traditional approach to uh, widget frameworks or GUI libraries. Yeah, just from seeing that, it looks like it. Yeah. So min size would be interesting, but it doesn't have any parameters. So the most or the first thing I want to know is how does the layout get computed? Because yeah, I think that's usually one of the more important things. Set shrink to fit. So I think they have this GML thing for building GUIs from declarative descriptions. Uh, so this is the parser probably for that. Uh, so this is a GML. Like it looks like, yeah, it's just some syntax for fill with background color. It's probably inspired by by QML from Qt. Right, maybe let's look at do they have box layout or that's referenced in here? Right. Like what does that actually do? Oh, I caught the .h. I'll probably need the uh, .cpp box. Yeah, right. preferred primary size. That's interesting. Does it? Oh, right. So maybe this is some sort of interface or something. Or how? So layout is a class. Doesn't seem to have preferred primary size. Now what is this? Seems to be specific to box layout. Well, if box layout is a layout, then you would assume that it implements the layout interface or, oh, here, all right. All right, preferred size. Now this is in .h, so I guess this is that. I really don't know enough C++ to, but I guess this, like, it's the class, and this function references this somehow. Right. All right. So preferred size. All right. What does a layout do? You add widgets. You insert widgets before. Sure, sure. You add a layout, or you add yourself to the layout. I don't know. Try add widget. Sure. Try variants of all of them. I like how they do error handling. Seems a lot like in Rust with results. So there's run. I guess run, like when it's in this widget, you can get the preferred size. I guess they just work with preferred sizes maybe. Sure, you can set the layout and so on. And there's min size. You can also set the min size, which seems weird. You can set a fixed size. So I guess the interface lets you do anything, sort of. Is there a text or a label or something? That would be interesting. Label. So, okay, let's open the .h. All right, size to fit. That seems interesting. Um, set fixed width. Ah, so it's just the width of the string. But there must be a line breaking in here somehow. Auto size. Then size to fit. Text rect. Text wrapping. Now what is that? So I gather that it's like not in any way or yeah, not really not like the Flutter layout where you have some constraint and can size yourself based on that, but it's more like just imposed or there's an auto size, I'm guessing. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think that's like my best guess. So there's like a lot of methods here, which like they must all exist for a reason, but I think I want to design my interface so there's like a minimal amount of methods, but yeah, I don't know, maybe they'll like organically grow a bit, so and I think this is also designed in a bit of a different manner because it's not, this is a base class and not an interface, so like there's also a lot of logic already built in here. So yeah, I think it's like quite a different approach. And I'm guessing that this is, or from what I've seen from Qt and GTK, I think this is more like that works. I think in GTK there's some like within height out option uh, from when I've looked at it, but like the widget can decide whether it wants to be laid out in that manner or not. And like it's not just one way to lay out a widget. Like there's a lot of ways and it depends and so on. It seems like a bit like this here as well. Um, but yeah, maybe let's look at how. Oh, there seems to be some like notify layout changed. Interesting. Like a notification slash, well, I don't know what direction that goes. Like, is this to notify the current widget that something's changed, or does this have to like notify listeners or something. Well, I would assume it notifies the current widget since there is a batch layout. I know what the batch is. No definite. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, you can invalidate the layout. Sure. Do layout. Also seems a bit like, yeah. Oh, I guess based on maybe you would call set min width and set min height and so on, and then you call do layout. Yeah, that might actually be it. So there is some constraint-like thing. So this loops through entries and gets its min size and primary size for orientation. What does min size return? An int size. And then there is shrink to fit. Okay, there seems to be, yeah, some machinery there too. Okay, maybe let's look at something else. What other layout? There's box layout, screen lay. No, that's not. LibGUI. So I guess box layout. What does box layout do? Dot layout. Oh, it lays it out. I assume layout is doing it. Wait, no. There is invalidate layout and do layout. Okay, I guess do layout does the layout and layout gets the layout. So I guess this just computes something. I guess run would maybe do the actual layout thing. Let's see. Do layout. Or maybe the layout abstraction here is such that like the box layout doesn't have to call do layout, but it just sets some properties on all of the widgets, and then something outside calls do layout. Ah, this is interesting. Set all items to their maximum size. To their minimum size. Distribute remaining available size evenly, respecting each item's maximum size. So this does seem a lot like Flutter or like Flex or something. Um, so first it loops through all entries and gets their min and max size, and then does it store them somehow? Items.append. And I guess, yeah, I guess it stores them. In no, I guess it just looks at the primary size for orientation. So I guess like if it's horizontal, this will get the x-axis, although that seems, based on the method name, a bit off. Though I guess, yeah, that is what it is. Primary size for orientation. Why primary though? Is there more than just a width or height? Yeah, it doesn't matter too much. Where are we here? All right, it gets with no min. Like, let's assume we're horizontal. So it gets the min width and max width in this case, and stores it. No, the size. I guess that'll be a later. Then final. I don't know. Is final a keyword here or is it a variable name? If it's like it seems like it's a keyword. I think in C final is a keyword. Or maybe not. But if so, where's the variable name? Okay, it is a variable name. I guess it's not a proper keyword, or at least it's allowed as a variable name as well, or something. Dot final. Ah, I see. All right, so it'll finalize if right fixed size items finish immediately in the first pass. So then you can loop and just look at the ones that aren't final. So one thing I am wondering is like if you have a text widget with line breaking, like what will be its min size? In theory, you could do it such that like its min width is the width of a word or like the width of the longest word or something like that. And or maybe even the width of a single character if there's subword character breaking. And or like the width of the shortest sequence of I don't know the right word right now, but like if you split up words in uh, syllable the right word? Yeah, width of the shortest syllable if you don't want to do like single character line breaking or something. And like set the min width to that and the min height to just the height of a line, and then like the min size is just per axis and not uh, like you can't actually get the text widget at its min size in both axes. But for each axis, you would know you could limit it to its min size, but then it might be more than its min size on the other axis. But I wonder if that's how it works here. Or, I mean, if they even have something like line breaking text element. Because from what I've seen from label, uh, I don't see much wrapping logic here. There's something called text wrapping, but I don't know what that is. Size to fit, update, and then yeah, it seems to just set fixed width. Yeah, it seems to just force the width to be uh, based on yeah on the text width. So there's no width in height out business going on. I wonder if we can find an example where there is such yeah within height out, because that's the main reason. Like originally when I started working on my project or on I guess on the on my first experiments with GUI libraries years ago, uh, I thought like why not just have each widget have a min size and basically that's it. But then I realized that would be problematic for wrapping text because there you'd want to do it based on like have for text you'd want within height out. So you say for like this text is allowed to be so many pixels wide or whatever the unit is, and then it'll do line breaking, and based on that you get a height. But for other widgets you might want to do it the other way around. And yeah, so the Flutter layout system uh, seems to address this quite well. But and yeah, as I mentioned, I once looked at it in GTK, and there it seems to be more like a widget can specify that it wants to be laid out within height out, and I think it can also specify that it wants to be height in width out, although I'm not sure about that. And otherwise, it has something like I don't recall exactly, but yeah. So, but here I don't find too much like, or I don't see anything like that. Like I don't see a way to constrain a widget, but I guess depending on from the sorts of GUIs I've seen in SerenityOS, maybe that's just not needed. Like the only place where there would be line breaking might be with the text editor, but there you'd give it a fixed width anyway. I mean, you could still have a widget where you just uh, like a text widget, and you can, as a parameter, give it a width, and then yeah, it'll just break based on that, maybe. But then you can't. Like one of the advantages in the Flutter model is if you have a flex and you have a text element that is expand, like it'll do breaking based on that. But I mean, in theory, it seems like it would be possible if the min size for text is just not the width of the text itself. But yeah, then the min width and the min height are like not actually on both axes at the same time, as I've described before. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Maybe let's look at uh, painting for a bit. Or yeah, maybe painting is hit test. Ooh, hit test seems interesting. Do we have a button or there's a checkbox? Does not have hit test. I wonder what hit test is. Oh, I think it's just for a given point, what widget is there? Like including children. Somewhat similar to our layer thing, but not quite. All right, let's have a quick look at rendering. Uh, Maybe with the label paint event. Well, I guess they have events, and event can be, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, seems quite straightforward. I don't know. I don't think that's too interesting. Yeah, yeah, I think I'll finish here. A bit of a short video today, but yeah, I think next time I'll be back working on my project. Yeah, see you then. Bye.